electroplated diamond wheels. There are two completely opposite camps on the internet when it comes to these. And let me tell you, both of them, they gotta be frustrated. One group says that diamond wheels will break in and naturally transform into a much finer grit. The other group, they swear that they're just trash. They're gonna crap out on you at about 20 knives or so. So which is it? Do the wheels magically get finer, or do they magically just die? To find out, we're gonna look past the forum rumors and we're gonna dig deep and completely challenge everything the internet tells you about the break-in effect. It forced me to question my own theories about grinding speed on the bench. In this video, I'm gonna be testing the realities. I'm putting a premium M390 blade right up against this brand new raw 100 micron electroplated diamond wheel, and we're gonna see how it chews through this in the beginning, and then 20 passes, maybe 50 passes, see what the effects look like as we move through. We're gonna be putting this thing under the macro lens and getting a close, detailed look that you've never seen before. All right, I'm excited, let's grind. In order for us to understand why people are so divided on this subject, we first have to look at how these wheels are even made or built. The subject of today's video is a 160 grit or 100 micron electroplated diamond wheel, but in the scientific community, it's called a galvanic wheel. Remember that word. Unlike traditional stones that we use that wear away to expose a fresh layer of abrasives as we work through it, galvanic wheels have a single layer of industrial diamonds with the hopes that they're permanently locked to the steel core using an electrochemical nickel bath. How crazy is that? So full disclosure, this is my very first step into the world of diamond wheels. Up until now, my heavy duty power sharpening has it's been strictly CBN electroplated. This CBN wheel has been a massive investment for my shop. It cuts consistently. I don't have to true it ever. And I only clean it like once a month or so. So the real question for the everyday sharpener like you, it's this: is a diamond wheel actually a justified purchase? From all my time using electroplated wheels, if the price is right, an electroplated wheel is absolutely worth it, guys. That brings us the big debate: grinding speed. My initial theory, and I think most of you would agree with this assumption, it's that a diamond wheel or a CBN wheel, it's gonna remove material much faster than the traditional SJ250 or aluminum oxide wheel that comes with your Tormek. But when you're actually working on these machines, I don't think that's actually the case. It's not about the raw velocity. It's that these super abrasives like diamond CBN, they just cut steel better because they don't deform as quickly. Think of traditional aluminum oxide wheel like a giant piece of sidewalk chalk, right? The second it hits your steel, the abrasive grains are gonna flatten out super fast. They're gonna dull, they're just gonna crumble away. And to keep that thing cutting, you have to constantly true it, you're gonna have to constantly continue to dress it. Whereas with a diamond wheel, it's completely different ballgame. It's like a rigid steel file versus a piece of chalk, because diamond is so incredibly hard. The diamond wheel, it's not actually grinding faster than a traditional aluminum oxide stone. It just feels faster to us. It's not about grinding faster. It's about matching the right tool with the specific steel landscape that you're working on. So before we head over to this new diamond wheel, where we're gonna watch this diamond wheel completely transform, we need to kind of get a visual map of what is about to take place. Dr. Marvin Grove, he published a research paper mapping out electroplated grids under a microscope. His data shows me that fresh galvanic wheels create this like chaotic cut up landscape on the steel. And this is because no two diamond particles sit at the exact same height on the wheel. You got your tall boys and you got your short and athletic husky guys, right? Some of them, those ones that are sticking way up past the rest, those are the ones that are actually gonna be doing all the work in the beginning. According to Marv's model, those high peaks, those tall boys, they are bound to experience massive pressure on pass number 1. So let's head over to the Tormek, let's mount the wheel, and let's track exactly how that raw grid behaves in the real world. So we already ran 50 passes on this brand new, this fresh 160 grit diamond wheel, and the transformation is night and day. Just by my fingertips alone, rubbing on the surface of the wheel, it is completely smoother. But let's take a look at the macro photography and let's see exactly what's going on. When this wheel was brand spanking new, it apexed that M390 blade in literally seconds. But it was super brutal, like rough, and it's because those initial high diamond peaks, those tall boys, they were taking on 100% of the grinding pressure. So they just cut super deep and they created these chaotic furrows within the steel. But as we started to push towards past 25 and all the way to 50, that aggressiveness, those high points, they started to level out and they dispersed the cutting pressure across thousands of neighboring diamonds. A world, a perfect world, where everyone is short and athletic husky. Notice how the nickel bonding, you see that? On the edges of the nickel bonding, it's nice and polished and burnished. Manufacturers actually use the nickel on purpose, and this is because it's relatively soft compared to hardened knife steels. And it's the perfect bonding agent for hard abrasives, super abrasives. As the high diamond point levels down and levels out, the steel swarf physically rubs against that nickel bed and just polishes it perfectly. That's why it looks so smooth. I already know what you're thinking. Where does this road lead me, these electroplated wheels? Where am I gonna end up long term? Well, I went ahead and grabbed my trusted electroplated CBN wheel. That specific wheel, it's 200 grit, about 40 grit higher than the new diamond wheel we just experimented with. But I've apexed over 1,000 blades on it, likely somewhere around 1,500. Under the macro lens, the grinds from that worn wheel, they're absolutely beautiful compared to what we got from that fresh diamond wheel. And according to Marv's research, this is what we would call the shift from deep cutting or gouging to burnishing and plowing. Over 1,000 blades. The abrasive tips of the CBN crystals, they've all flattened out into these microscopic uniform plateaus. It's no longer tearing into the steel. It's actually pushing the metal aside cleanly, leaving this apex that's almost got zero chipping at all. But I've lost about 50% of my CBN crystals. Luckily, I've got a brand new diamond wheel, and we're breaking that thing in. So this completely clarifies the forum, the internet debate. Electroplated wheels, they do transform into much finer acting, highly consistent abrasives over time. This experiment, it brings us to the ultimate question. Does the microscopic apex tearing, does it actually matter on your bench and in your real world life? Look, it's incredibly easy for us all to get lost in the science of an electron microscope. But at a certain point, we have to ask, if we've got to zoom in 100 times to find a single flaw, or several flaws, whatever, does it actually impact the person using the knife? If a wheel or an abrasive can create a clean, uniform edge that holds up in real world work, the atomic data, does it even really matter to the everyday craftsman? Here's the practical takeaway. A brand new electroplated wheel, it's gonna be incredibly aggressive, and it's gonna leave a super rough, torn up apex, especially on a premium knife steel like M390. But don't panic, and don't think you bought a bad wheel. It's just going through its paces. It's the raw breaking phase. Once you push past those initial 25, 50 passes, all those Tallboy, those high peak tips, they're all gonna level out. And then your wheel's gonna turn into this low maintenance burnishing tool that will last you thousands of blades. And at the right price, these wheels, they're no trap at all. They're actually completely justified as an asset for your shop.